Welcome back, everybody, to Games Revealed. I'm James and also the Brink, and we are one community. Today, we're going to be talking about the Zotac. Not the Zodiac, but a company many of us know for their custom graphics cards, but who has just teased a new gaming handheld. Now, considering the rise of the Steam Deck, rivals that have all been going on, Asus, all that, this might not be too surprising, but leaked specs suggest that Zotac might just be stepping up their game and actually entering a different world than they're used to. They're getting into the race for the best gaming handheld. It's more like a dance, with Steam Deck OLED maintaining its popularity while other portable PCs are trying to match it. Ultimately, choosing a system depends on your budget and requirements, as each device offers different features. Whether you're looking for a larger screen or care more about ergonomics, there's a handheld for you, and it's becoming more and more of that, especially with the new leaks coming out with what we're seeing with this Zotac device. It might be looking more like the Steam Deck, but can they get the SteamOS on it? Zotac recently launched a teaser on their Computex 2024 landing page, and while it doesn't answer the question of who is this for just yet, the leaked specs might just give us a hint. According to videocards.com, the device will pair the usual 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD memory, NVMe, whatever you want to call it, with an AMD Ryzen 7 8840 APU, a chip that's a generation ahead of the ROG Ally's Z1 Extreme processor. It also comes with a 7-inch 120Hz AMOLED touchscreen, which could give the Deck's 90 hertz OLED display a run for its money, maybe. I mean, once you get to a certain point, especially with these specs, it doesn't matter as much depending on the game. Here's a quick rundown of the speculated specs. The price is yet to be confirmed, probably going to be about $600 to $700. It's not going to be as much as $799 though. I think we can safely assume. The CPU is going to be the Ryzen 7 AMD 8840. The GPU is the AMD Radeon 780M. They're comboed into an APU. RAM is a 16 gigabyte LPDDR5X, which is faster than, I think, the ROG Allies, not the X's though. Storage 512 gigabyte M.2 SSD 2280, so it's got plenty of space. Then the display is a 7-inch AMOLED 1080p 120Hz screen, so they're not going any higher. The 7 inches is kind of boring too, but you know what? There's other stuff that's interesting. It's going to have the micro SD card slot and a USB-C port. The battery is a 48.5 watt battery, which is a little, it's not good, but we'll see how it handles. The size is yet to be confirmed. It's going to be running Windows 11 Home, and the weight is going to be under 700 grams. Yet to be fully confirmed, but that's what the speculation is. Now, the extra premium perks like Hall effect joysticks and two-step adjustable triggers might suggest the Zotac's portable will be premium. The whole spec sheet is giving me Ioneo 2 potentially vibes, or just the Ioneo 2 with the kind of mixed in, because there's a couple track pads in there. Another high spec handheld using the same Ryzen chip, but is Zotac trying to attract high spec players rather than those looking for a cheap Steam Deck alternative? We'll see. I think it's gonna hit that sweet spot. Depends on prices. The Zotac Zone looks attractive on paper, but we will need to see both the price tag and get hands-on before knowing if it's worth investing. With so many portable PC options now available, finding the right balance between specs and cost is key. We'll see if I get my hands on one, but it's definitely more intriguing. I can't say it's more intriguing than the Ally X, but it's kind of, because of the APU. But let's not forget potential Zotac Zone attributes like the 120Hz AMOLED screen and the Ryzen 8840 APU hold a lot of promise. Right now, there aren't many OLEDs handheld PCs around, and the Zone could be one of the only contenders to truly take the fight to Valve. I don't think the OLED's the biggest selling point for the Steam Deck OLED. I think it's the increased battery, and it doesn't really increase the price much. So, will the Zotac Zone be worth getting into? Will it be worth waiting for? It's going to be revealed at the Computex 2024, so I'm getting ahead of myself, but these are just like little snacks, little treats for you guys. If they manage to pull off a cheaper price tag than the Ally and some of its other competitors, I think this might be the device to get for the foreseeable future. Just because, I'll be honest, the Ally X is looking sick. If you want to drop the cash down, I do think the Ally X will beat this. I don't know. It's going to come down to RAM hungry games and stuff like that, right? So the Ally X is going to have 24 gigabytes of RAM, while this is going to have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and this is shared RAM. That's what makes it a big difference. And so games that are more RAM hungry, especially newer games that are going to take advantage of these APUs, like the Z1 or the 8840, is going to most likely need a little bit more RAM. I mean, with these specs, though, we'll see. Everything else is looking fairly similar on paper when it comes to these devices, except for we have leaked images right now that show 2 track pads below the joysticks. And I'll have to say, like, it's blurred out image of kind of like a preview of Computex. It's looking like the Steam Deck in a lot of ways. It actually looks a little bit more like a premium Steam Deck, which has got me a little excited. If somehow they ship SteamOS on this thing, because we've been promised time and time again, multiple companies saying they're going to do it. I don't even know if the Kun has it. We could be seeing, and this is big speculation, but I will say right now, whether or not you should buy it or not, we have to wait until it's revealed fully. We need to see just every aspect of this kind of shown off. But when this thing comes out, if it has SteamOS, like, there's a pretty good chance I might even pick it up day one. We'll see. I bet you it's going to come out in the next few, like, with that specs, and I just couldn't see them waiting until, like, let's say the fall. I'm sure they've been working on this for the past, few months to a year of, like, production and all that, and Zotac has the capabilities to do something like this. Same with Asus. Valve is a very different company when it comes to all this. They had to ramp up. They had to use a third party to get all their hardware going and all this. These companies have been doing this for years, and they know the hardware game really well, especially mass producing things. And so I'll be honest, like, the Ally X, if it wasn't for that price tag, would probably be a day one buy for me, because those specs are about perfect. And I wanted it to be an 8-inch screen, but the 80-watt battery just is killer. That is, if this device, the Zotac one, had just, let's say it had a 60-watt battery and then also had 24 gigabytes of RAM, even if they did charge, let's say $1,000, I might buy it if it came with SteamOS and it ran really well compared to the Steam Deck. And I'll be honest, like, it might be a Steam Deck replacement for me. That's kind of like my perfect device to replace the Steam Deck right now, is that I really like the ease of use of SteamOS right now. Like, gaming on the go is just so much easier not dealing with Windows. Windows is just, they're so AI obsessed that they don't see what's under their nose for an easy win. And this would be an easy win getting into the portable game. Really easy win and be easy to sell their suite. But that's a different topic for a different time. I'm going to stop, like, fanboying over this type of stuff. I am really excited to see where everything goes. Honestly, it's a near perfect device, but it's going to suffer greatly from battery fatigue, just like the original Ally did. That's why the Ally X came out. So we'll see. And now the battery's not the biggest deal for me with the Ally, but I'll be honest, seeing this 80-watt being put into the Ally X has got me a little thirsty. So now that I know what could be. That being said, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know. Is this something that you're really interested in? Zotac? I've had Zotac video cards. I really like them. So I'm curious what you guys think. I'm curious what you're going to be getting in the next future. If you don't have the money right now, or you're like, I want to buy a system every few years, I'd probably wait till Steam Deck 2. But for those who want to, like, upgrade, trade in, do all that stuff, this might be a very attractive option. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. Let me know in those comments. Also, check out the description below. Should have some other goodies, including links to other stuff about this. And with that, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later.